This is a project that has been about 6 weeks, month and a half, something like that, in the making. I'm going to start off with a time lapse that I filmed on the 8th of December 2018. Today, as you can see, is the 6th of February, so a fair time, nearly 2 months. I'm not going to add any audio to the time lapse, but you'll see the origins of this piece, and a 2-month piece. It has been remarkable fun. So here's the time lapse. Some people might know or remember. Actually, I better not say past tense stuff like that, because this might go on the website. Mate of mine, old mate of mine, gave me a pillar drill. For those of you who don't know what a pillar drill is, oh crumbs, hang on, I better. That's a big pillar drill, and that's a littler pillar drill. And what you do is you put your thing to be drilled on there, and you put your drill bit in there, and then it goes up and down. So for people who know what a pillar drill is, my apologies for teaching you how to suck eggs, or what your grandmother's eggs, or whatever it is, whatever the term is. So Mark, my mate, gave me, hang on, better get the other bit, right, gave me a pillar drill, and not to put too fine a point on it, and I'm sure Mark would agree, it really was rubbish. I don't know where I've put the oh, that's the bit there, and it wouldn't when you did the drill thingy bit. Oh, it's all tangled up. Sorry, hang on. Oh, gosh. It wouldn't stay up. There was no spring in it, so it would just drop onto whatever you was thinking. Anyway, what am I doing? Right, so I took it apart. I took the motor out of it. I'm going to use the motor for something, because it's probably a very good motor. And some pulleys, oh yeah, some pulleys and belts and stuff like that. And the rest of it is that's the plate, that's the base. So what I've done, I've polished all these up, tried to leave it a little bit kind of still a little bit what's it called, industrial, but I've cleaned it all up, and it won't rust because I've now sprayed it with lacquer. This one needs another coat of lacquer. This one might be alright, but I'll probably put another coat of lacquer on it anyway. This hasn't been sprayed up yet because I want to polish the thing. But let's see, that actually goes on there, and then this will go on there. And this is the basis of a new project. And I've had this idea, and we will see if this idea works soon. I had this really wonderful idea of putting the switch in the top, but of course the hole in here obviously is too small, only by a couple of mil, but the switch won't fit. Ooh, So that, what this does, but I can't do it with one hand, so I'm going to have to stop filming and then we'll see how it's come out. I nearly forgot to do the second bit of the film. Okay, I went off and started sanding something else. So now the switch fits almost here in the hole, and then I'll glue it in from that side. Now, even though I've actually polished this and then put a couple of coats of lacquer on there, but I want to keep the sort of, I don't know what you call it, patina, I think the term is. So I have cleaned all this up, believe it or not. It's all clean, but I want to keep the rusty look. So everything is going to get a good coating of lacquer, because the last thing we want, if this is going to be pucker top quality designer stuff, is for people to get rust on their hands. So everything is going to get blasted with a lacquer, a good quality lacquer, because I actually want to keep that rusty look, because it's contemporary and classy and stuff, and that's what people like. No, it is, really. I saw it on telly. I don't know sometimes about my sanity. It's if you can see, the canal's frozen down there. It's -2. It's not frozen here because incinerator keeps it all warm, but -2, and I'm spraying lacquer on bits of an old drill press. I need psychiatric assessment. But the thing is, this is good lacquer, and I want to keep the patina. That's the term for rust, and this is the stuff I've been using. It's a lacquer, and I've had to write on here use outside, because it is really awful stuff. Even outside, I've just had a full head face mask with visor and things and breathing apparatus, well, breathing filters, because this is lethal. If you breathe this in, what it does is kill you, because it stops the lungs then absorbing oxygen, so you suffocate yourself by breathing that in. So I did this 5 minutes ago, and it's only now that I've come out without my breathing apparatus and mask. But the lacquer really does make this, it gives it the cleanliness and feel of a contemporary piece of designer art, etc. That's real art. That is, that truck there. Look at this. Now that's our grumble. That's a true work of art. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted. This is art. And this is balls it sits on, or that screws onto there. I sort of wanted to again keep the patina, patina means rust, on there and there, and a little bit of the wear and tear on here. You see where it's chipped off and everything, because it all adds to the character. And this drill press would have seen a fair amount over the years. I'm sure Mark will bring us up to speed on that, but I wanted to give this another polish, and I started doing that, and it all started looking nice. But I thought, do you know what, I really I like that patina. I like the feel of that, so I've polished the bottom a little bit, but I've wanted to leave that, and again it's all coated in lacquer, so it all feels nice. And I've tried to keep, I don't know if you can see, some of the little pits and stuff in here. It is all smooth and nice, but I wanted to try and keep some of the character. Right, next, inside. That over there boys and girls, is ice. If I just show you what we're looking at, it is a frozen canal. Hey, and what am I doing out here in sandals when it's minus 10 billion degrees or whatever? I'm putting another coat of lacquer on here because I want it to be lusciously lacquered. Lusciously lacquered. Who writes this rubbish? Very happy with the way this is cleaned up. So I gave it a good rub down with anti-grease, and then I put them in the dishwasher and then gave this various grades of sanding, but trying to keep the texture in here. So then used wire wool and wire brushes. Same with this, but I wanted to keep this pattern and these little imperfections that you see in here, look. So I wanted to keep all these, and then again polished it, and then it's all been sprayed with lacquer because otherwise this would just rust. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but that was about a week ago. I can't remember what I said, but this now, I over polished this and I wanted a little bit more texture left in there, and now all of this is sprayed with lacquer, including the bolts, and this sprayed with lacquer. So boys and girls, what do we do with this? I have some ideas. Well, I have an idea. Not sure if it'll work, but if it does, I think it'll be really funky and like totally groovy. Come back soon. This is where it starts getting interesting. I knew this is the top, and it's all been cleaned up and coated in a really nice lacquer. It's beautiful, so it'll never rust, it's nice and clean, and it will go on top of that like this. Now I knew, I'm just plonking it on that copy of the Metro because I don't want to scratch the lacquer. I knew that I wanted this to be a light, so it shines down like an industrial desk lamp. But what lamp to put in it? Now I looked at these little 12 volt jobbies, and then I thought I bought some those are similar. I bought some of these G4 12 volt G4 LED replacements. This would normally be a halogen bulb, and then I bought a load of bulb holders for it, so thinking I could probably do something with that. And then I stumbled upon this LED, and you can make it bright and dim, and but you know what? And then I thought, I don't want any leads on it. I don't want a lead that you then have to plug into a wall or into your USB charger. So I thought I need to go much lower voltage than 12 volt, which are these. This is 30 volt for one of those transformers. I just didn't want a lead to go to it. I thought it looks great on its own with no lead. So then you're talking about batteries. So I've got a battery holder. Yeah, that's all right, but it's only 4.5 volt. So then I thought 18650s, they're bigger batteries, but then people have got to get a specific charger for 18650s. So I thought what I'll do, I'll use a very small battery holder for 3 of these AAA batteries. And I'll leave the batteries exposed because I actually think that's a part of it. I think the battery should be exposed. And then I thought, what am I going to do for lighting? Now, I found these. These are called Cobbs, chip on board. And I thought, I'll get a little switch and I'll put the switch in there. You already know, because you've seen the previous video, that the switch I've used is this. And I had to make this hole bigger because that's in a previous video. Well, it might actually be in this video if I join them all together. So these are what are called chip on board. And this is 4.5 volt, 3 AA batteries. Went for that because people can get AA batteries quite easily. And the point with AA batteries is chargers, you can get rechargeables. Chargers are really cheap. So then I thought, is it going to be bright enough? Well, you can tell me. You've seen that one over there, the brightness of that. Now tell me whether you think this will be bright enough. Oh, I've disconnected. Hang on. This one's come astray. Just a minute, boys and girls, while I solder that back on. Why doesn't anything ever go to plan? I'm not refilming that entire scene. I'm sorry. Right, that light, right. Okay. What I've just done, soldering it all back together, because this is just a mock-up. I need to put it in here properly. But this is how it looks. You tell me whether... Take 2. Tell me whether you think this is bright enough. That is horrendously bright. And what you can't see is there's a little blue light in the top of the switch as well. But that is bonkersly bright. And realistically, off 3 1.5 volt batteries, 4.5 volts. Let's compare it to that over there. Let's even turn this brightness full brightness. There you go. That's full brightness. And just to compare, we'll keep that in shot, and we fire this up on the 3 AA batteries. That is stunning. Of 3 AA batteries. And these chip on boards don't draw very much at all. In fact, I put 1.5 or 1.2 ohm resistors on there. I think that's 1.2 ohm. I don't know. Oh, oops. Is it? Yes. Right. So then we're going to mount this in this, and we'll see what it's like. I can turn that one off now, can't I? That was a waste of money buying that one. That's about 20 quid. Let me turn it off. I'll use it for something else. So yeah, let's see how this works. I'm really excited to have found these chip on boards that I can run in parallel off 3 AA batteries. Isn't that just wicked? Tell me how sad this is. I'm lighting up the workshop. I'm lighting up Delilah. Hey Delilah, baby. Oh God, you're so hot, baby. And look, lighting everything up. Yeah, I've tidied the workshop, by the way. I've got a course I'm doing tomorrow. But ouch. See, look, tripped over that. I can see that. Now you might think I'm using one of those posh new torches, but I'm not. What am I using? Ah, look at how bright those are. How good is that? It's just bonkersly stunning. The brightness from those. Put those on there. Look at that. That is. Let's try and put some light on. That is the chip on board LEDs. Incredible. Wow. Yeah. So there's. Sorry, Delilah, darling. I didn't mean to blind you. Blinded by the light. Blinded. Never mind. Right. Isn't that good? And that is off 3 AA batteries. That is stunning. Oh, it won't work now because that's just fallen off, but never mind. How good is that? Delilah, darling, tell everybody how wonderful these chip on board LEDs are. On 3 AA batteries, 4.5 volts, and it lights up the workshop. That is blinding. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Sex and drugs and rock and roll is all my brain and body need. Sex and drugs and rock and roll. Very good indeed. Keep your silly ways, floating them out the window, the wisdom of your ways. I've been thinking, no, lots of other ways. What a jolly passion. If all you ever do is business you don't like. Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
And
Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
yeah, now that I am very proud of. And it runs on AAA batteries. Outstanding. That'll do me. Yeah, very pleased with that.